are live, back with another rendition of the Prove Me Wrong podcast on the Los's Corner Store. We've got a night full of UFC action tonight, so this episode will be exclusively UFC. We're going to go back in time, travel to last Saturday where Anthony Smith beat the dog shit out of Ryan Spann, and then we're going to fast forward a little bit to yesterday, 2 days ago, which was the UFC Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about those inductees and what happened. We're also going to mention some shit. And then we're going to jump straight into UFC 266. So let's just get into it. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. UFC Fight Night, Smith versus Spann recap. All right, the prelim that I told you to watch was Penne Kianzad versus Raquel Pennington. And I chose Penne Kianzad. You know, I thought she was like more on the upper trajectory. Raquel was on the lower trajectory. I think one was heading up, one was heading down. But this fucking division is crazy. Can't really fucking, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's fucking great. Everybody's really, really good. It was a good fight for Rocky, you know. It was a good W. She was unranked after getting that title shot versus Amanda. She kind of went on a fucking slide. I hate seeing that because I love the fighters, like genuinely love the fighters. I want all of them to succeed. I know it's a win-loss sport. I get that. But to see the slide that she had after, especially the fight that she had versus Amanda, I just felt like a piece of her was left in that octagon that day that she'll probably never get back. And I think she's working her way to getting used to that. But, you know, I don't know Raquel Pennington. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they train at ATT, I think. No. Maybe. I don't fucking know, dude. But yeah, good fucking fight by Raquel. I'm glad to see her back in the win column. Everybody fucking loves Rocky. She's the shit. And yeah, congratulations. I love that for her. Joaquin Buckley defeated Antonio Arroyo via third round KO. This was one of those that, like, Buckley's like pushing, Antonio's pushing, and then it's going to be like first one to really make a big mistake. And I think Joaquin caught him. Big mistake happened. Good fight. Good KO. Nate Maness beat Tony Gravely by second round TKO. So at the end of the first, Tony Gravely was actually, like, he knocked him down, and it was pretty fucking bad. It was pretty bad. Like, Nate didn't really, like, look like he was in it. And then at the start of the second round, Nate comes out and doesn't give any fucks. He's swinging for the goddamn fences. I know if I say Goddam and somebody like Malik Luvas, they gonna get hot. So, goddamn, I said it like I should have. And I apologize for even thinking about using the good Lord's name in vain. But yeah, he came out second round, absolutely monstrous, really looking for that KO. He got it. It was a great fucking punch, great follow-up, good shit, Nate Maness. Our man Tsarukian, there we go, over Christos Giagos versus first round KO. I ain't gonna lie, didn't watch it. Ariane Lipsky versus Mandy Baum. Ariane was able to get the unanimous decision. Not gonna lie, didn't watch it. Ion Kutileba over Devin Clark via unanimous decision. This one was back and forth. This one I was able to get some type of viewing in. I was at work, so I couldn't really, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Ion Kutileba beat Devin Clark. Devin Clark broke his fucking face. He said his corner gave him. They were like, "Yo, like, this shit looks awful. Are you sure you want to keep fighting?" And he said, "Fuck it, that's surgery anyway." And he said it to his dad. Like, his dad is in the corner, and he just looked at his dad and was like, "Whatever, dude. Like, I'm gonna need surgery anyway. Why might as well finish the fucking fight?" Devin Clark's a fucking gangster, badass as fuck, and he gave Ion a run for his money. It's a good fight, from what I saw. Good performance by Ion. Devin's a fucking gangster. He got all our respects. Hardcore MMA community loves Devin Clark now. Anthony Smith beat Ryan Spann via first round submission. It was rear naked choke. There's levels to this shit. Anthony Smith clearly made it apparent that there are levels to this shit. It was like watching It was like watching DeAndre Hopkins line up across from like a rookie DB who got picked in like the 3rd round, who's just like in the league, you know, and his whole game plan is to play okay enough defense, but to get in your head by talking shit. And it was kind of like watching D-Hop just sit there like, I fear God, boy. I fear God, boy. And then we all know what happens after I fear God, boy. That practice with the they were the Redskins at the time, with the Washington football team now, that practice was legendary. D-Hop drops a pass. D'Angelo Hall starts talking shit. Mad shit. D-Hop goes, I fear God, boy. And then on the next fucking play, routes him up so bad that he gets an injury. Now, this is the MMA equivalent to what I just explained. Ryan Spann was talking all types of shit, and Anthony Smith looked him in his eyes and said, I fear God, boy. Period. Period. There's levels. Like, there are levels. You can be good, but there's greatness. Anthony Smith is up here. Anthony Smith is a fucking legend. Period. A legend still kind of in his prime. It's fucking weird. Anthony Smith is fucking weird. Much respect and love to that man. All right. Now we'll go on to Thursday, the UFC Hall of Fame. In the modern era wing, the inductee of the evening was Georges St. Pierre. And I want to start off with a quote. I'm going to start off with a quote for every induction, just because I feel like it really, like these quotes really sum up what the induction mean, like why this person is in. So, when you're the greatest fighter of all time, they don't call you the greatest fighter of all time. They call you Georges St. Pierre. And that was said beautifully by Chael Sonnen. Finished his career with a 26-2 record, 8 KOs, 6 subs, finishing rate of 54%. He's a 2-time welterweight champ, 9 title defenses in a row. He retired after his 9th title defense. He's 11-1 in title fights. Like, my boy. My boy. And the 1 is the biggest upset in UFC history. My boy. My boy. 1-time middleweight champ. So he's got 11 welterweight belts. He said, fuck it. Let me go get a middleweight belt just because. Notable wins. Men's like Dan Hardy. Beat Matt Hughes twice. Beat BJ Penn twice. Beat Nick Diaz, who's fighting today. Beat Josh Koscheck. Beat Johnny Hendricks. Beat John Fitch. Beat Carlos Condit. Beat Michael Bisping. Beat Jay Shields. Beat Matt Serra. Beat Sean Shirk. Beat Frank Trick. This dude is literally a fucking murderer. He's only fighting the best of the best at 170, which is what you do when you fight for the belt fucking 12 times. When you're the greatest fighter of all time, they don't call you the greatest fighter of all time. They call you Georges St. Pierre. And Georges is the best mixed martial artist the UFC has ever seen. Ever. So congratulations to George. That was, it was beautiful to see him inducted. He fucking deserves it. Definitely, he's top 2 and he ain't 2. Let's put it that way. All right. Into the Pioneer Wing we go. The Pioneer Wing of the UFC Hall of Fame. This is going to be Kevin the Monster Randleman. And this quote is by Mark Coleman, lifelong best friend, wrestled with each other at Ohio State University, went to the UFC together, did everything together, went to Pride together, did pro wrestling together. And Mark Coleman said on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour recently, he said, I honestly don't know anybody who affected more people in a positive way than Kevin the Monster Randleman. And I want to take a second because the way he said it is he said it just like that. He said, I don't know anybody who affected more people in a positive way. He kind of takes a pause, and he says, then Kevin the Monster Randleman. And Kevin the Monster Randleman is no longer with us. He died in 2016, I think. 2016. But yeah. Mark Coleman also went on to say that this is something Kevin looked forward to. This is something he really, really wanted for his career. So the fact that he's in there now makes everything a little bit more special. Although we would have loved to see him there. Mark Coleman definitely is I'm getting emotional right now. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, he kind of took a pause and he said Kevin the Monster Randleman. Because when he was in that octagon, when he was on the wrestling mat, when he was in between the squared circle of pro wrestling, he was the monster. He was the monster. But if you ask the people around him, he was only a monster athletically. He was one of the more humble and free-spirited humans that they had met. It's truly a shame Kevin wasn't able to see his own induction ceremony and be there and give a speech. But, oh God, I'm really about to cry. But yeah, let's just rattle off these career accomplishments, my boy. 17-16 career record. That means shit to me. It was literally the beginning of MMA. My boy was fighting just to fight with no game plan. Like, he was just fighting. It wasn't taking months off. He was like, no. He was taking years off. He was fighting. Like, he was like, oh, that guy? All right. There was no, I need more money for this. If you're going to make me fight this guy, I need this. No, it was that guy? All right, bet. He was a 2-time collegiate national wrestling champion at Ohio State. He was a 1-time national runner-up, 3-time All-American all 3 of those years. UFC heavyweight champ. He had 1 defense, so he's got 2 belts to his name in the UFC. Notable fights throughout his career. Maurice Smith, Boss Rutan 2 times, beat him once. Pete Williams, Pedro Hizzo, Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, Babalu Sabral, Shogun Hua twice, Rampage Jackson, Kazushi Sakuraba, Mirko Krogop, Fedor Emelianenko, Roger Gracie. This dude literally just fought the best of the best at 205 and heavyweight throughout the entirety of his career. That's like a UFC, that's like somebody, like, that's like Gable Stevenson, like heavyweight national champ, goes into the UFC and like just gets thrown into the top 5. Like, here you go, dude, fight all of these heavyweights. That's a recipe for fucking disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. But the Monster was able to, he was able to put up some good shit. He was an inspiration to a lot of people. He was a great champion, great person from what I've read, from what I've heard said. Again, just sad to see him not being able to attend a ceremony a ceremony celebrating his accomplishments. I won't say in his honor. All right, last but not least in the fight wing, we got Jon Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson, 1 inducted as one of the greatest fights of all time. Let's start with a quote from Dana White, the man, the myth, the legend. I believe this is one of those fights where both guys felt like they were going to die. That's what Dana White said after the fight. This fight's fucking awesome. Like, it's fucking awesome. I've rewatched it 3 times. Not recently, but just I know I've watched the fight 3 times. Just sat there, put it on, and fucking watched it. Because it's an adrenaline rush just getting to watch the fight. The fight was awesome. Fight's great. Fight's perfect. It was a 2013 fight of the year. It was the greatest title fight in UFC history. Up to that point, at least. It included the two best light heavyweights of the era. You know, before Daniel Cormier came in. The spinning elbow changed the whole fight. Everybody sees the spinning elbow as the moment that won Jon Jones the fight. That fight is really hard to score. Like, really hard to score. So, like, I don't think the spinning elbow changed the trajectory of the fight, but I could definitely see somebody giving one of the first 3 rounds to Jones, and then the last 2 definitely for Jones. But yeah, that shit was fucking great. Jones set record for most consecutive title defenses at light heavyweight. It was 6 after the fight. He had 8 in a row. He's got 11 total. So that's good. Let's get into the shits though. After the UFC Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Jon Jones went out all night to party, and got arrested at 5:45 in the morning the day after. Literally the day after. Like in the same clothes he wore to the UFC Hall of Fame, Jon Jones got arrested for battery, assault, and domestic abuse. Domestic abuse and tampering with a car. So there's no details out right now. It's just what that's just what the headlines read. I like to give every man the benefit of the doubt. Innocent until proven guilty is the way the American justice system works. I think that's the way that everybody should look at things. I don't think they should just be castrated based off a headline. But I'm not fucking surprised anymore. I am not fucking surprised anymore. Jon Jones is literally one of the greatest athletes of all time. He's one of the greatest combat athletes of all time. And he just surrounds himself with yes men. Like, he surrounds himself with people who genuinely, like, look at him and they go, I don't want to piss him off. I'm just going to tell him exactly what he wants to hear. Now, where I'm from, you don't do that shit. Where I'm from, who I roll with, who I ride with, if I were to do something stupid, or if I was thinking about doing something stupid, my boys, my brothers, I'm talking about Mikey, who's been on the show, Malik, who I'm trying to get on the show. He doesn't know sports though. I'm talking about Blue, who's been on the show. I'm talking about Nick, who will be on the show. I'm talking about Luvins, who will be on the show. Doesn't know much about sports. I'm talking about Ewan, who doesn't know much about sports. But those guys, if they ever see me do something fucked up or think I'm gonna do something fucked up, they're immediately gonna look at me and be like, yo, G, don't fucking do that shit. They gonna check me before I even get the opportunity to do something stupid. Granted, I would never do anything as stupid as what the fuck he just did, but when you think that the world revolves around everything you do and you can do whatever the fuck you want because your dick is swinging all the time because nobody wants to tell you to put it away, this is exactly what the fuck is going to happen. Jon Jones is the most he's the most wasted talent I've ever seen in my life. 11 fucking title defenses, 16 wins in a row. And he's the most wasted talent I've ever fucking seen. Ever. I've been watching sports my whole life. NBA, NFL, MLB as a kid. Now I watch the UFC. Religiously. 7 days a week, I'm UFC content. All day, every day. MMA. He is the biggest waste of a fucking talent, of a fucking specimen I've ever seen in my life. Jon Jones needs to go to fucking therapy and get his fucking shit together because I am fucking tired of watching this, oh, I'm with Jesus. God, through God, all is possible. But you're a fucking piece of shit. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm fucking tired of all of these people, especially in MMA, who are pieces of shit using fucking God as a reason to get people to love you. It's like, no, dude, you don't even drink your own fucking, you don't drink your own milk. You don't eat your own sauce. You sell the product, you don't smoke it. You don't believe in all that shit. Where man makes mistake, man was meant to sin, and God will show me the fuck you, dog. Fuck you. Like, why? Why? If you're gonna be a piece of shit, fucking go Kobe Covington and be a piece of shit. Just fucking do it. Go all out. Go all in on being a piece of shit. But Jesus Christ, there is no lighting in this room. I'm filming a dark podcast right now, cursing out Jon Jones. Granted, if I ever see Jon Jones on the street, I ain't even gonna say nothing to him. I wouldn't even ask for a picture or autograph. I don't want a picture or a fucking autograph with that man. I saw Robbie Lawler at a fucking Texas Roadhouse with his family. He sat next to my fucking table. I sat there in awe and shock. And I finally, after Mark leaned over and said, hey man, I know who you are, big fan, sorry to bother you. I leaned over and was like, look bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was freaking out for like 30 minutes at this table. You're a legend, I appreciate you. That's Robbie fucking Lawler, dude. Everybody wants to take a picture with Robbie Lawler. Everybody wants to say, you're a fucking legend to Robbie Lawler. Nobody wants to look at Jon Jones and say anything positive. And he's the greatest of all time, in some people's opinions. That shit is stupid. It is stupid. Dude's a fucking dick. He needs to put his fucking cock away and stop swinging that shit like there is no fucking tomorrow. Because one day his ass will be locked the fuck up. I 100% believe Jon Jones at some point will go to prison for an extended period of time. 100% believe that shit. I won't even be surprised. I won't be surprised if Jon Jones never fights in the UFC again. I won't. I really won't be surprised. Anyway, I just feel like that took away the whole fucking Hall of Fame hoorah thing I had going on. But I just had to get that shit off my fucking chest because Jon Jones is a fucking dickhead. All right, UFC 266, we're going to jump straight into the prelims. Roxanne Martiferry versus Tyler Santos. Roxanne needs to clean up that striking into grappling transitions. She doesn't have the hands or the kicks or the striking at all to be able to pull off being in the top 10 of any women's division. Women's flyweight is a fucking... It's a deep pool of strikers, though. So that's tough for Roxanne. And Tyler Santos is much stronger, so I do feel like she's going to be able to keep her off of her. And I do think Tyler's going to be able to shut down Roxanne and get this dub. I'm going to go Tyler Santos, number 12 ranked women's flyweight. Heavyweight matchup. Number 7, Shamil Abduk Rakimov versus number 10, Chris Dawkis. Chris Dawkis, last fight, Alexei Oleinik, one of the better grapplers in UFC heavyweight history. Chris Dawkis showed he could not get taken down. He showed good takedown defense. He showed good shit in that fight. Good striking. Got the KO in the first. Shamil needs a dominant win in order to crack that top 5. Ranked number 7 right now. Heavyweight's got like that top 5 and then like everybody else. So I understand like what these guys are going through. But in my opinion, I feel like Chris will find with the crispness of the boxing. I feel like Chris is able to get it done. I feel like he's going to be able to get that W probably by KO if I had to take a guess. Lightweight, 155 pounds, number 8 Dan Hooker versus unranked Nasrat Hakparas. Both fighters had visa issues. They actually landed on Thursday night during UFC, like the UFC Hall of Fame. They landed for that. Less than 20 hours before weigh-ins and less than 48 hours before fights. They landed in Vegas from the other side of the world. Nasrat's coming from Frankfurt, Germany. Dan Hooker's coming from Australia, Sydney. Yeah. No, wait. Is he coming from New Zealand? I don't fucking know. He's coming from one of those. Dan Hooker only fights murderers. That's why nobody wanted to fight him. He was calling everybody out, and everybody just pretty much said no. Yeah, that guy's a fucking legend. I love Dan Hooker. He literally only gets into wars. He's a fighter's fighter. He's a fan's fighter. Nasrat, he took this fight because he has fucking balls, but I feel like there's levels to this shit. Both guys are being very respectful. Nasrat's trying to make his name off Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's not going to let that happen. I got Dan Hooker. Probably second round TKO. At bantamweight to headline the prelims, we got number 6 Marlon Moraes versus number 11 Merab Dvalishvili. I know that's how you say it. Dvalishvili. Yeah. All or nothing. I lost my last 2 fights. I have to win. That's a quote by Marlon Moraes. Jesus, it is pouring outside. This is Florida. Now I got the hiccups. That was by Marlon Moraes. He said, I have to win this fight. And then if you look on the other side, to the guy that's won 6 in a row, he says, this is just another fight. I'm taking the steps to go up. So ranked number 11 on a 6-fight win streak. Hasn't really got the names under his belt. But looking to move up in competition. He's fighting one of the murderers of the division. And yeah, I love that. This fight will be a dog fight. Marlon is a dog. You don't corner a dog, especially a dog like Marlon. But Merab's a fucking dog. And I can see Merab taking Marlon down at fucking will, not giving a shit for 15 minutes. That's what I can see. I think Merab goes to 7 in a row. I think Marlon drops 3 in a row. I probably think Marlon's out of the UFC after this. And Merab is on his way to building that resume to get that title shot. He might be the next Leon Rocky Edwards. I don't fucking wish that upon him because I don't think Leon likes the spot he's in. But I can see this guy having like 10 in a row and being like, yo, fuck do I gotta do? I can see it. I can see it. I'm going Merab. I fucking love Merab. I'm going fucking Merab. Dvalishvili. That's my dude. Never gonna get that wrong. Dvalishvili. I apologize. And on to the main card. To kick off the main card, we've got a women's flyweight fight. Nah, I'm kidding. Jessica Andrade, number one ranked Jessica Andrade versus number 5 ranked Cynthia Calvillo. Cynthia is a grappler, like a good grappler, which provides an interesting matchup for Jessica. Jessica might be a little too strong for Cynthia to hold down, kind of in those transition between clinch and ground periods. Look, I put here that Jessica will get the finish in round 2, probably. I would not be surprised if Cynthia Calvillo just came out like a fucking bat out of hell and got this fucking decision and just ran through Jessica, didn't give her no time to breathe. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But, Jessica needs 1 second. Jessica needs 1 second of you to fuck up, and the whole fight changes. So, I'm still going to go Jessica Andrade, but that is my opinion. All right, at heavyweight, we got number 4 Curtis Blaydes versus number 6 Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Curtis is going to make the necessary corrections. He was on a tear, then he got knocked out by Lewis, took a whole year off. I think it's been almost a year since that Lewis fight. Let me double check that. Blaydes, wouldn't it be stupid if that shit was like 5 months ago? Seven months ago. It is 7 months ago. It happened February 20th. 2021. So, you know what I mean? I'm 7 months off. He took 7 months off. I think he's going to make the necessary corrections. I don't think he's going to lead with his head as much anymore when he's shooting for the takedown. I think he's going to mix it up well on the entrance. Jairzinho is definitely up and down. His last loss was to the champ currently, or to the interim champ at least. But he needs to prove that he can beat an elite grappler and somebody in the top echelon of heavyweight. Like, he just needs to do it. He doesn't have that big win. He has Overeem. That's it. That's the only good win he has, is Overeem. Like, yeah, he beat JDS, but, like, JDS isn't even in the UFC no more. Overeem's not even in the UFC no more. What are we talking about, though? Like, Jairzinho doesn't have the best ground game, and he's going to have to prove that he can get up, but I don't think he will. And I do think Curtis is going to get a big win, probably TKO first or second round via ground and pound. I think that's just what it calls for. I think that's just what Curtis Blaydes does better than anybody else. Feel me? All right, now we got a 5-round co-main event between number 15th ranked welterweight Robbie Lawler versus Nicholas Diaz, who's coming back off a 6-year hiatus. Supposed to be at 170 this week. Nick Diaz in his camp requested 185. Robbie said, I don't really give a fuck. I'm finna fade anyway. So that's fucking beautiful. I fucking love Robbie Lawler for that. Still kind of confused as to what the fuck is going on with this middleweight thing. I get nobody wants to cut weight, but like, you know, I don't like it. I love Nick. I'm rooting for Nick always. I'm picking Nick to win, but I don't like it. I just feel like you sign a contract, you're kind of fucking over the other guy. You know what I mean? It's not very sportsmanlike, and I get it's a fight, but it's a sport. You know, it's martial arts. You're supposed to be respectful. You're supposed to, but Nick isn't a martial artist. Nick is a fucking fighter. So there you go. Robbie has a lot of miles and has not really shown a lack of chin, but he fights top competition. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. In my opinion, should be 5. I thought Cerrone won that fight. But, but I also thought he beat Ben Askren. So, there's that. I think 5 rounds favors Nick, although Robbie can still bang it out in round 5. But Nick has the cardio to pull it off, maybe. I really love the style for 5 rounds that Nick Diaz brings. I don't think ring rust will be a factor. I think 6 years he's going to come in, he's going to look probably better than he ever has after the first 2 minutes. Like, the first 2 minutes are going to be a rough 2 fucking minutes. But after that, I feel like we get the ball rolling, and Nick Diaz goes back to Nick Diaz. You know what I'm talking about? And, yeah, I got Nick Diaz winning. I'll say it, decision. We're watching 25 minutes of that shit, and nobody's going to be fucking mad. Women's flyweight, 125 pounds. We got the champ Valentina Shevchenko going up against number 3 ranked Lauren Murphy. Lauren's on a 5-fight win streak and is a huge plus 750 underdog, but she believes. Like, she really believes. And granted, everybody that Valentina has fought has believed in themselves. Like, without a doubt. I do truly think that. But Lauren Murphy really, really believes. Like, she really, really believes. She's saying, she's like, bruh, like, all I gotta do is go in there and fight. And, like, I could lose, but if I make her feel human, it's still a dub. That's pretty much what I got from what Lauren said at the press conference. But I really do think she can, like, that she believes she can win this fight. And I'm never gonna tell a fighter with all that belief that they can't win the fight. I'm saying it's less probable than she may think. But you never fucking know. You know, you never know. Plus 750, if you got like just $100 laying around, put it on Lauren Murphy. Put it on Lauren Murphy. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a $7,500 payout. Pretty fire. I don't know how betting works, so I'm looking it up right now. No wager. $100 odds plus 750. So that means you won 750. All right, not 7,500. That means you won $750, bro. Like I bet you Lauren Murphy's husband's putting that on the bank. Valentina's looking. All right, let's move past Lauren Murphy. Valentina's looking past Lauren Murphy, I think, in my opinion. She's looking more for that third fight with Amanda Nunes that I don't think is ever going to happen again. But even overlooking Lauren Murphy, like, you have to assume that Valentina is the far superior mixed martial artist. Like, far superior. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I still got Valentina. I still got Valentina winning by a lot. As much as I fucking want Lauren Murphy to stand there with the belt and cry and just be like, fuck, I did it. I reached the mountaintop. You guys fucking owe me paid in full, like Dustin Poirier style. Like, I want to see that shit. But it's Valentina motherfucking Shevchenko. When you have, like, that type of champ, I'm not betting against the champ. Feel me? Yeah, I got Valentina. Probably big win. I'm going to go third round. Finish. All right. And in our main event of the evening, we've got a featherweight title matchup for the ages. Introducing first. No, I'm kidding. We got the champ, Alexander Volkanovski, going up against number 2 ranked Brian Ortega. Volkanovski is the better all-around fighter, but is definitely underestimating T-City, in my opinion. Just the way he's talking, the way he walking, the way he acting. I think he's definitely not seeing the potential L that he could take with such a dangerous man like Brian Ortega standing in front of him. Brian is confident and he feels ready. He said last time he wasn't ready to be champ. Now he's ready to be champ. His whole mindset changed. His camp changed. The love for the game has changed. I'm going to give it to Alex in a really, really, really tough fight. I think this does go 5 full rounds. I think it's probably going to be a war tied at 2 apiece going into the 5th, and Alex is going to be able to have that champ mentality and pull that off. And I got Alex winning the fight. That's it. All right. It's 1:30 p.m. That means we only have 6.5 hours until the first fight of the prelims. Everybody's super fucking excited for this card, including myself, including Buddy, wherever that man went. Oh, it's raining. He probably you know how dogs get. All right, but that wraps it up for this episode of the Prove Me Wrong podcast, episode 44. This is fucking lit. We're 44 deep. I still remember when I first started this and my assistant managers looked at me and said, "You're gonna get 3 in and quit." 44 episodes later, my man. 44. And, this is just what I love to do. It's what I love to do. I love getting on here. I love doing my fucking research. I love writing all this shit down. I literally stay up hours and hours and hours and hours into the night. And I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Just like reading. Just trying to get shit to talk about. And I love this shit. So I'm glad to just be 44 episodes deep. I'm glad to have been able to sit in front of this camera 44 times and do what I love. It makes me happy. Thank y'all so much. Thank you to mom. Thank you to mom. Thank you to mom. Mom is the shit. Christina Ojeda, I love you with all my heart. You are the best. Thank you, mama. Bye. Woo!